Okay, everybody. Um, it's been a while since I've done a video. Um, there's been a lot of high winds here in Arizona, so it's just been not a good day to fly, like day after day after day. So the 22nd wedding anniversary, my wife and we decided to go up to Idaho. She's wants to go to all 50 states. So the only two she hasn't been to is Idaho and Hawaii. So we went up to Idaho because I have my best friend from high school lives up there. We wanted to visit him. I haven't seen him in 15 years. So that was going to be something to really look forward to. We flew in. We got tickets because we had points or something. The tickets were free for flying. We got, I mean, it was just economically, it would have been silly not to go. Um, and I was thinking fields and potatoes, right? Right? No. Mountains, streams, rivers, forests, glorious. You will see in this video things that you're going to be like, no, that's Wyoming, that's Montana. No, Idaho, way cooler. I've been to Wyoming and I've been to Montana. I've only been to certain parts, and I'm sure there's beautiful parts of those too. But those states, Wyoming, Montana, boring as snot. Fields and nothing. I go to Idaho, mountains, streams, rivers, outstanding. So, if you get a chance to go to Idaho, go to Idaho. You watch this video and you will go, okay, honey, let's plan a trip to Idaho because you're going to love it. Don't tell my friend, though, because he lives there and he doesn't want everybody knowing that Idaho is amazing because then they'll move there and it'll start to suck. But right now, it's amazing. But it's not my fault if you go there and mess it up. Right? Okay. So, high wind video shooting in this, hard to control the drone. So at those points we stopped for until we got to places where it wasn't as windy. At one point I go to a lake, beautiful lake, Lake Stanley, and you'll see it's listed in there. And at the end of the aerial photograph videoing, and I land, and I reach over, and I reach down and turn the video off. Well, while I'm reaching over and not looking at the drone picks up and goes right in the water. Are you kidding me? Right in the water. So, bloop. It's freezing cold, ice cold, like glacially cold mountain water. I plunge my foot right into it, reach out, boom, grab my drone. Like, water's coming all out of the thing. I'm like, take the battery out. I'm like, there's water. You look right at the drone, there's water everywhere. I put it in, I fly it. I'm like, hey, it works great. So I'm like, let's just let it dry it away as we went to the next lake. Anyway, it ended up flipping over and going poof right into the sand. The communications got messed up with it. So I'm working on that issue, and then the Wi-Fi didn't work. Anyway, once I got it fully dried out and had to buy some little bitty screwdrivers and take apart one of the motors and get the little bitty sand grit out of the gear because it would go around and stick, go around, stick, go around, stick, and that caused it, the other three motors, to make it flip over and crash, and it was uncontrollable. But I left the uncontrollable videos in so that you can see the situation that I was having, and I will narrate within the video about what was going on in each one of those. I put some still pictures in because I want you guys to understand how beautiful Idaho is, and I put some iPhone video in this video so that you can really get an idea. Other than my crazy in the wind drone video without a gimbal, without GPS, high winds, so you can get a appreciation of more of an appreciation of Idaho than watching my shaky, crazy drone video. So, without further ado, grab your remote. Let's hit the skies. Awesome. Hey, everybody. Great to be back. This is Veteran Memorial Park. We landed in Boise, Idaho, went to our Airbnb, said, hey, we got a couple hours of sunshine still. So, hey, let's go to a park. We tried to find the park that was very close to us that the Airbnb little booklet said that was a great park to go to. Put it into Siri, and Siri took us all the way around the thing and finally took us to a Mormon, it was like a halfway house community service cannery type place. Well, and I'm like, okay, we couldn't find the public entrance. So we're like, all right, let's try this other park. Boom, we went right in. So this is the park we went to. Lots of these bicycle paths. Get out of your way. When they say on your left, that means dive to your right because they're going to run you over. Lots of people walking their dogs, must be on leashes. Actually, it says no dogs whatsoever, only service dogs. I don't think anybody cares because these were not service dogs. Unless you can just get, it's like a marijuana card, you can get a service dog card like at any whim because you want to smoke dog, smoke weed, have a service dog. Anyway, unless everybody needs a service dog, they were everywhere. So anyway, that was my wife in that picture, by the way. This is back at the Airbnb just before sunset. They had chickens over here on the right in a coop in the morning. If you want to go out and grab a few eggs, cook them inside at the kitchen, then you were free to do such. We did not. I should have had them. It would have been great. The yard over there to the right, I think, is their neighbor's. I don't think it's their yard. To the best of my knowledge, that's the neighbor's kid's house, little house there. They had willows. They've got maple trees. I think that's a maple right in front of us right there. There's a pine tree in the back. But down here in the valley where people have irrigation, they have trees and grass, beautiful lush. You'd think you were in northern Michigan here, living up in Charlottesville or Traverse City or somewhere like that. You get away from the city, then it's upland desert. It's sagebrush type, small shrubs, little bitty trees. And then you get to the forest, basically get up into the mountains. Get up in the mountains, pine trees, maple trees, aspens, paper birch, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trees everywhere you look. Streams, rivers, everything. But down here, out of the mountains, it's the assistance of man. And there's some rivers to go through here too, obviously. So you just, you pumping that water, or you're irrigating your yards and your trees, whatever. So I did not put any pictures inside of the Airbnb. I didn't know if they'd even want me to, so I didn't do that. Maybe advertising they wouldn't. All right, this is where we're in the rental car on the next day. We're heading up. We're going all the way north and then east across the mountains. And we're going to end up going to Sun Valley and Haley. One of those famous actor guys had a house in Haley. He is married to Demi Moore. He's the anyway. He recently sold it. He no longer lives there, but Haley is where we had a hotel room. But look at that. There is no city there. There's no paved parking lots, streets, buildings with 3 feet gaps between the next building and the next building and the next building, and car after car after car, people beeping and honking and hating each other. I tell you what, living in a city just sucks the soul out of you. I mean, it literally turns you numb. You are a zombie living in anger and frustration 24 hours a day. The only reprieve from that is when you sleep.
It's like bathwater.
So when you get a chance, get in your truck, get in your car, get out of the city, get to the trees, get to the water, get to... I mean, some of you people, you have like sane living conditions, so you don't need to purposefully try to find nature. You live in nature. Oh man, that's where I want to be. That is where I want to be right now. Anyway, I'm enduring, and someday I will die and go to heaven, and then it'll be like this. But until then, I live in a city with millions of very angry people.
On the vegetation.
Hot Springs, very cool. Stanley Lake. At the very end of this next video clip, when it lands, that's when I have an issue. The drone picks up, goes over, lands in the water, and you'll hear some videos of that where I don't even need to. The video itself, I've made clips that explain this, so I'll just turn off the webcam and let the video explain itself, which is me in the video. But anyway, look at those mountains. Look at that water. My wife is over there on the shoreline going for a walk. Listen to the music. The great outdoors, forever free, you and me. Meant to be. Oh my goodness, I had no idea that this music selection that I picked for the back was going to fit so perfectly. man, I can just feel it calling me. Pictures can only get so much. Video can really pull you in to the memories. It's like smells bring you back to your childhood, certain memories. Video can really pull you back to being here. I can feel the wind. I can smell the trees. Oh man. Oh, beautiful.
Okay, so we're here at I think it's Pettit Lake in Idaho. The last lake we were at was Mount McGowan. There's a lake there at the base of that. And I took the first video. This phone, I put it in the holding control mechanism for the drone. Right up here on the phone. It's where you turn off the iPhone, the little click button, and you slide it into the little latches that hold the phone on the controller, and it was turned my phone off, so I wasn't getting the video. So I put the phone on the ground, and then just ran it with the controller. And then when I landed the drone, I put the reached down and shut off the video on the phone. But as I was distracted, the drone took off about 6 inches and went 6 feet to the left and bloop, went right in the water. So a little scary. I'm gonna make sure the drone is turned off from now on and not even care about the video. And then once the drone is secure, then I'll go and stop the video, and then I can splice it out later. But I'm gonna switch this around. This is a new lake. I'm gonna throw the drone up here and get some good video of this. Look how clear this water. All right, so check out how clear that water is. I mean, you can see stuff out in the water. It's like crystal clear. And I wanna go up high and tilt the camera down, and that way it'll let you see down into the water. That's gonna be my objective on bringing the drone up. Oh yeah, so the water was submerged. The drone was submerged, and I just ran out, stepped my leg right in the water, boot and all, grabbed the drone, and then came back and blew it all out, and then put the battery in, and it still flies. I'm like, wicked awesome. So I'm gonna try to get an aerial photograph looking down into this water, and that's what we're gonna do next. All right, drone update. When it went into the water, it's no longer transmitting a Wi-Fi signal to connect to my phone to record videos. And then I just tried to fly it manually, and only one of the blades turned, and then two of the blades turned, and then three, and then it jumped up and flipped upside down. So it's not communicating well. So I'm gonna put it on the dashboard of the car, and I'm gonna put the defrost front window defroster on hot, and see if I can dry it out. All right, good news, everybody. Put the drone on the dashboard of the car, turned it up really hot, drove another 10-15 minutes to the next lake up here in Idaho, and tested it out. The Wi-Fi worked again. Test flight, it flies again. Everything's good. Did a recording. I'll put that in right after this video to show you that it's working. And we're at another lake. We're gonna try to keep it out of the water. Oh, have you guys ever met my awesome wife? She's fantastic. I love her a lot.
All right, this video actually happened right before that last video, but I put it behind it so that I could explain what I was doing here. And that was just a test video because the Wi-Fi started working again. I was like, oh, great. And then it actually flew great. The little sand grit in the motor did not become an issue until afterwards. I think it shifted in the motor housing. Alturas Lake, what you don't see is where I cut out. I came up about 3 feet and went right to the side and went into the bushes. I'm like, oh, so I edited that out. That was one of the things the mishaps that I did not include in the video. There you go, I just explained what was going on. A little bit more windy here, and I think I was still having a little bit of issues with the motor, and I do a motor video, explains how I fixed the gear. It was hesitating just a little bit, so I was having a hard time controlling here. Look at you can see how you can see down into that water. That is so beautiful. All right, this is the problem. This is where I made mention. it was look at my face. That's why I kept this video in. I'm like, what's going on with my video? So I kept putting it down. I wanted to see which motor was hesitating and which one I was going to have to deal with fixing. At this point, I'm like, okay, I think it's one of the blades not turning right. I didn't know if it was a bent blade, one had a tiny little nick in the blade. Was that enough? It started sounding different. It was like brrr, instead of a bzzz, it was like so that it was making a different sound as well. And so I'm trying again and again and again, just short little takeoffs to see where it's going to go, where it's going to go. Is it leaning to this way? So that means it's the blade on the other side that's hesitating. There, it hit the top of the car, and then it, boom. I'm like, ah! I'm like, don't get out in the road. And then there's one last little attempt here. I'm just carrying it back and forth. No editing. You're just seeing craziness, me carrying the drone around. Obviously the Wi-Fi is working because there's my phone on the back of the truck, or the back of the car, recording this with the Wi-Fi signal going back and forth to the drone. But the scene straight ahead is what I wanted. It was so beautiful and expansive. It just, look at this for miles. But I'm like, oh man.
Attempt at the lake to fly this one of the times today. The blades, 3 of the blades were turning fine, and one of the blades was not. And it would cause it to flip over and sharply turn to the side. Anyway, so it felt like this is the one blade that was not spinning smoothly. So what I did was I took this apart, got down to the actual gear. Here's the motor. Here's the motor shaft and the gear. Here's the sprocket that goes onto that. And then that sprint, and then your blades hook onto here. Now there was on these little teeth here on the white wheel, there was a little bitty black dot. See that right there? I still need to clean out a little bit more. I got just the tiniest little grain of sand, beach sand in there. So when it would come around and it would hit this brass cog or this star bit at the end of the shaft, it would stick. And it would cause it just a slight hesitation, and then it push it. And then a slight hesitation, and push it. And a slight hesitation, and then push it. Well, when you have 4 motors working exactly in timing to keep it flying level and true, and you got one motor that's not able to turn its sprocket free and clear, then it veers off to the side, crash. Anyway, I just fixed it. So now it's all dried out, the communications is good, the motors are good, and now all of the blades are going to be good. So it went into the lake, and it looks like it's salvageable. It's going to be great. So we'll find out tomorrow when we do some tests.
All right, Shoshone Falls. This is Twin Falls, Idaho. Very, very pretty place. Big giant gorge, expansive truss bridge. People skydiving, like base jumping off the bridge. We get some video of that later. We went down. It's not in the video, but we went down by the wastewater treatment plant, sewer plant, and there's a golf course down there, and there's a place for fishing and stuff like that. Waterfalls. I do get a picture of the waterfalls coming down off of that. Real tall waterfalls, and it goes into slow-mo. Here at high winds, it was hard to control the drone. It's functioning properly. It's got the grit out of the motors. Everything is going good. It's just too windy. This is a smaller drone with no GPS to hold it in place, and also no gimbal. So you get this crazy video. This was the reason for the trip. My most amazing, loving, understanding, patient wife in the planet. 22nd anniversary. So we went here and did this. There were several guys jumping off that. There's this down closer to the wastewater treatment plant. The wastewater treatment plant is to your right and down low behind the golf course. So this was super beautiful. There's this tiny little spot on the road. If you stop, you can get this video. This is the hydroelectric plant. I guess I can't point. It's weird. I'm like, it's backwards. The screen is flipped, and on the webcam. Anyway, to the left there is the hydroelectric dam, and there's a park to the right. And so we wanted to see the little waterfalls at the park. There's some little videos that I took. I didn't want to include it in this because it was not drone related. I didn't want to make this a 3-hour video. But water coming right out of the side of the cliff behind a rock in a waterfall. Like coming out of a stone rock, bedrock wall, gorge wall, coming straight up, right out of the middle of it, water coming out. It's just incredible to me. You think of the geological makeup and the forces of water finding a path. It's fascinating to me. Nature is just a beautiful thing. So anyway, I just wanted to do that. And then this is at my friend's house. My best friend from high school. Hadn't seen him in 15 years. He's got 2 kids now. One's like 16. The other one's, I don't know, 12? I don't know how old she is. Anyway, super cool. There's a couple spots where the video will splice, and then it'll like fade together. That I'm splicing out his children and his wife. We don't want to put them on the video, right? Have a little privacy for your family. Some creepy friend from high school comes and puts your kids on YouTube. No, I don't think so. So yeah, so I spliced that out. Beautiful neighborhood he lives in. Lives on a golf course. He is Air Force. Totally retired from there. Now he is working in a pharmacy as pharmacy tech. Brilliant guy. Brilliant. His wife, she's also here I go not remembering. Medical field somehow as well. So super smart people and kind people, nice people. Those 2 kids are going to do well in life. If they don't, it's not the fault of their parents because there's some really good parents. So kids, make good choices. Listen to your mom and dad because they want nothing but the best for you. So anyway, golf course. I said, hey, look at that. We need to make some videos. And the kids were excited about doing it. Everybody was. We were having fun and just being silly and having a good time. And then this next video is where I do some splicing. Like his wife is right there on the left-hand side, so I shrank the video down so it would not see her face, and then it boom expands. See how it expands as soon as it gets past her. I spliced the video together so that it would do full size once it was past her. They've got this cool balcony up here. And it was not, balcony, cool. I don't here to show house features. I was here to show, hey, I could go up in there with a drone, I bet, and turn around. That was splicing out the kids. When I turned around to come back down, dropped, turned to the left. I left a picture of him in because he's a grown man. He can handle himself. All the fame that's going to come his way from being in this video, he could deal with it. He's a tough guy. He really into hockey, a great Christian man, a good father, and a good husband, my best friend from high school. Great guy. So that was me splicing out the video of the kids at the end of the pool that were running out of the way. I just zoomed over the top of the pool and then pulled up fast so I would miss the hammock. I was just trying to work on precision flying and being able to fly this thing with really good detail. And his son is here on the left just for a moment. You can't see his face, so I left that in. And then dogfoot. Boom, right there. See the dogfoot? All right, so we wanted to do a little... Oh, this was the fire. We saw some smoke, so I'm like, hey, let's bring the drone up. Just see where it's at. We thought it was just like somebody burning garbage or something, whatever. But it was an actual house fire. The news came over across the phones as an alert to a house fire in the area from the local news app that they have on their phone. So I clipped this and sent this to the news company as well. Or the news company, the news, whatever, station. So here we wanted to just, they were like, one more thing. I said, I need a mission. I need something I'm supposed to be doing with my drone instead of just flying around aimlessly. And they're like, run it down there, down the alleyway between the, I'm like, all right, let's do that. But I lose communications. With my controller stops working. So I have to take the phone from his son that was holding it and then bring it back using the phone as the controller. And it worked. But so then afterwards we fly it again and it does not lose communications. So I'm not sure why it lost communications the first time, but it did. And it was just, the good thing is the wind was not strong here and it just hovered in position when it lost signal. Once I had the phone and tell it to come back, then it's like, okay, let's do something. But it's nice that it just stayed in position. Now, if it was a GPS, even if there was wind, it would stay. Without GPS, if there was wind, it would just drift off. So if you have a drone without GPS, the chances of you losing it to factors like wind are much higher. If you have one of these nicer drones, if you lost signal with it, it will just come right back to you and land next to you. So you're not going to be losing your drone like this. But this is a fly at the seat of your pants kind of a drone. So this is me trying it again. I'm like, it went right past the point there, lost signal before. I'm like, all right, that's good. It didn't do that again. And then I'm just bringing it back, just bringing it straight back and adjusting to. There you go. I'm just adjusting, trying not to run back into the trees. And then I'm trying to get some elevation here to clear the fence to come back. And that's the end of our video. Idaho was outstanding. Got to meet with some friends. Got to spend a few days with just me and my wife. 22 years of marriage. Couldn't ask for a more fantastic woman in my life. Honestly, blessed by God and blessed to have her with me. So there you go. That was our trip to Idaho. I hope you guys enjoyed it.